Oh, Joe Sizzle, I love it. So, Nelly, listen, that conversation was incredible. In fact, I took a deep breath as you were talking about it. So, shout out to you and Sue. And on your Health Tuesday, we're going to continue down that avenue, but check in the immunity box because in winter, immunity does become more than just a buzzword. It's your body's frontline defense against viruses, but also seasonal illnesses, which I'm pretty sure you've had maybe once, maybe twice. But what does it really mean to have a strong immune system? That's what we've got to break down today. And joining us this morning is clinical virologist Dr. Moipeng Maseko, here to break down how immune systems really work, what weakens it, and what we can do, you and I, to support it. So, Doc, welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me.
I love the color tone, the Pantones happening here, the brown.
Thank you.
I do have to talk about this, though, because we often hear the phrase, boost your immune system. But do we know what it means at the end of the day? Can you please break this down for us?
Okay, so, well, thank you so much for having me. Our immune system is made up of like a complex network of cells and organs that are in the body, and they are like our defense system in the body. So a major part of that defense system is antibodies. So these antibodies are you have them, they're produced every time you get an infection, but you can still get sick. Now people wonder, why do you still get sick? That's because viruses are stealthy. Like each time they can either evolve, that's how you can still get sick, or your antibodies don't last long enough from season to season. So in winter we have respiratory viruses that are, they are more prominent in winter. So when you get infected now, your antibodies are supposed to carry you to the next season.
Next season.
But some viruses, antibody reaction is short-lived. So you don't last from season to season with those antibodies. And that's why you still get those infections. So your antibodies are short-lived and viruses evolve. And that's how they evade the immune system. So in winter, it's not necessarily that your immune system weakens. It's just that our habits change. We are indoors, there's less ventilation, we are in close contact. So if you're sick, that's when viruses like it, because in winter, we're in close contact. So it's easier to spread from person to person, those infections.
That's so interesting. I'm just imagining viruses going, yes, I like this behavior.
Exactly.
Continue down this
That's
avenue.
exactly it. That's exactly it.
I love that you've broken this down so that we can actually understand in layman terms. But when it comes to lifestyle habits that we can incorporate to make sure that maybe we are getting some more air, maybe we are moving our bodies, what can we do to increase our antibodies, if that's a thing? And how can we make sure that we're healthy?
Well, I think in terms of lifestyle, an important thing that people usually take for granted is getting enough sleep. I think that's a big factor in terms of getting enough sleep. Everyone always says, oh, try and limit your stress, but really try and limit your stress if you can. If not, try and keep active. Like try and get moving. I'm not saying, High Rocks is coming to Cape Town. I'm not saying go do the High Rocks, but get moving, be like active, and that also helps. Other things that you can do include excessive alcohol intake. Smoking is also a factor in terms of your immune system. But other things that you can boost your immunity with include getting on top of your chronic infections. If you are taking medications already, keep at it, keep taking as prescribed, because that also helps.
Okay.
And then ventilation, as I mentioned. If someone is sick, don't get in their face and be right next to them. I think this is a good distance for us.
If COVID taught us anything, it's that social distance.
Especially
important.
that. And then mask wearing, if you want to protect others, because we can't always take off when you're at work and you're sick. You can't say, I'm going to stay at home. You can wear a mask and you can protect others in that way. So that is some helpful things.
That is very helpful. Is there one more, please?
Yes.
We're all writing down the notes, Doc.
Healthy, balanced diet to the best of your ability. So I'm saying not everyone can afford to just eat 5 different types of fruits, different types of protein, but to the best of your ability, everything in moderation goes a long way. And then in terms of hydration, as well as you're well hydrated, that also helps.
Tough to do in winter, but very important nonetheless.
Very important, yeah.
All right, so what are some of the signs and symptoms that we can look out for when our immune system is quite low?
Yeah. So, I mean, I divide this into 2 categories. You have the general population. So if you are constantly fatigued, you're constantly tired, lack of energy, if you constantly keep getting like chest infections, upper airway infections, that could be a sign that maybe you should go to the doctor and get checked out and make sure that all is well. And then the other populations are the high-risk groups. So the very young, the very elderly as well, those people are at risk already of like infections, especially in winter when viruses are flourishing. What might seem to a normal person like it's a harmless flu might be a big thing to a very young child, to a very old person. If you already have existing medical conditions, diabetes, asthma in winter, you are in danger basically. And then you have pregnant people. They are a high-risk group because you are basically have a weakened immune system. You're carrying on board precious cargo.
Of course.
So those people, we can already predict your immune system. You'll be affected differently by winter viruses and illnesses.
Thank you, Doc.
So-
And you know, this morning, I know you're going to be proud of me. I took my vitamin C supplement just preventatively because I was like, let me just boost it up. It's cold outside. You never really know.
Yeah.
So there's also that support of
Yes.
external things you could
Yes.
take.
So it's important that we identify if there are deficiencies. Things like vitamin D help in terms of like what do I want to say, absorbing your vitamin C.
Right.
So if those things can help, but also like you can have deficiencies, iron deficiencies, folic acid. You can take some things that can help like zinc. So there is a room for vitamins,
Supplements.
yeah, and
Okay,
supplements.
beautiful, Doc. Thank you so much. That was such an insightful conversation and for breaking it down for us. Now we know when we say boost your immunity, exactly what we're trying to do for this season and for the next season. But listen, you don't have to wait until you're sick to take care of yourself. Supporting your immunity now to help your body respond better later really does make a difference. So thank you so much to our good Doc over here for the expert advice and to help stay one step ahead of those winter bugs. Do chat to your pharmacist about the ADCOCK Ingram Winter Survival Pack. Now, this one is stocked with seasonal essentials for immune support and also for symptom relief. But listen, Feel Good fam, you know that we always got you. You could win 2,000 Rand. I didn't stutter, okay? That's right, in cash, in fact. Just tell us this one thing. What is your go-to remedy to boost your immune system in the colder months? Remember to use that hashtag @ADCOCKOTCWinter, and this competition closes on the 6th of July. T's and C's, of course, can be found on expressoshow.com, and please go ahead and visit beprepared365.co.za because we want you to keep well throughout this season going forward.
Sniffles, sore throat, ain't nobody got time for that. Kick flu symptoms to the curb with Carenza Para-C. Fast relief that gets you back to bossing your day. Need a pick-me-up and a payday? Jump in on our competition. Answer the weekly question on Expresso's social pages using hashtag #ADCOCKOTCWinter and you could pocket 2,000 Rand cash. Don't sleep on it. Entries close this Sunday. T's and C's on expressoshow.com.